everybody. Happy Thursday. It is 10 a.m. Central Time, and you know what time it is. Coffee with Spirit. I am so honored to be here with all of you, holding this space to have this amazing conversation. And I'm really excited about today because we are going to be diving into the topic about animal spirit guides. What that means, how they may connect with you with their messages, and if you have had experiences with animals, I would love to hear. So for those of you that don't know me, I am Brittany Fry. I'm an energy intuitive and mindset coach, and I help women feel empowered by stepping into their confidence and creating a life of their dreams without the fear. And every Thursday, I come to you live at 10 a.m. to do Coffee with Spirit. So each week, the topic is a little bit different. And the topics come forward to me through my own Coffee with Spirit. Every morning, I connect with Spirit and do my own little meditative practice and do my gratitude list. And I connect with my higher self and my guides to really deepen my intuition, deepen my connection to my higher power, to my higher self. So this week, what Spirit has brought forward to me is to talk about animal guides and how they show up in our lives. So I want to know from you guys, who has had an experience with an animal spirit guide? Who has seen animals show up in their life and all of a sudden you're like, okay, what does this mean? Or what could this possibly mean? And have you ever really just been intrigued with connecting with animals? There are many people out in the world that are animal communicators with living and deceased animals, which I find to be super fascinating. I have done that myself. I have worked with animals with energy healing and with communicating with them, and it is so much fun and I love it. But there are also different times in my life where animals have showed up in my life as a spirit guide, as a little bit of a nudge or a little bit of inspiration with certain things that have gone on in my life. So I want to share those with you, and I want you to share as well. So who has had an encounter with an animal where you have felt like they were your spirit guide, or who has had an experience within a meditation where an animal has come forward, and what have you learned from animals? I'd love to know. And I just want to mention that I purposely put this shirt on this morning because I knew I was going to be talking about animals, so I'm feeling a little animal-y, printish today. So I even showed my husband, I'm like, look at this, I planned this out. So I want to hear from you guys. Drop in the comments what your experience has been so far with animals, and I'm going to dive in with one of my most favorite stories, and I have a few today that I want to share with you. And then at the end, I'm going to be doing some card readings as well from my new spirit deck. It is Messages from Your Animal Spirit Guides by Stephen Farmer. So stay tuned. I'm going to be drawing some of these as well. And I have some fun announcements and some specials that I'm going to be dropping in here as well. So one of my very first memories of connecting with a spirit animal was actually in my first ever guided meditation. I went to a local healing center for a guided meditation, and the facilitator was going to be guiding us through a meditation to connect with our spirit animal. And for me, this was like an entirely new concept. I didn't really know much about spirit animals, but obviously I was really intrigued because if you know me, I have always been really interested in connecting with spirits. I've been really interested in connecting with angels, really interested in connecting with loved ones. And I thought, well, what the heck? If animals have that same potential of giving us messages and insight, just like our loved ones and angels and guides, then I want to know what animal is my spirit guide and what message they have for me. So I went to this meditation with an open mind, but also maybe a little skeptical of, well, what's going to happen? Is there even going to be an animal that comes into me or comes to me in this meditation? And how is this all going to work? And I was really, really new to meditation as well. So I was kind of like am I even going to be able to reach a level of meditation, hi Jen, that will allow that connection to happen? So we did the meditation. I don't even remember how long it was, maybe an hour, maybe 90 minutes. And it was a really powerful experience. Like, I was actually really blown away how easy it was for me to get into that space of meditation, and just the really cool experiences that came through the meditation. And she walked us out, coming out of the meditation. There was maybe like 10 or 15 of us in this circle, and we all got to share our experience afterwards. And I thought to myself, I'm kind of bummed. I don't know if my experience was really that great. And I started to kind of, question it, as other people were sharing. I was like, mine just wasn't that great. I don't know. And so anyways, it was my turn to share. And I said to her, I'm like, I really didn't have an encounter with an animal. I just felt like I was in this forest and I was laying there. And I remember like I had a connection with my grandpa. And during that time, like, I was thinking in my mind that a spirit animal was going to come up into my face and like deliver this message to me. Like, it was going to be super clear. And I just said, yeah, I didn't really have that experience, but there was an eagle that was circling around me during that time. And she's like, and you don't think that's your spirit guide? Like, hello, like, you had an animal that came to you. Maybe they didn't like speak directly to you, but that is your spirit guide. And that is a message that you can take forward with you. And I was like, oh, so it wasn't really that hard. Like, this can be easy. This can be really powerful, and this can be really cool. Well, little did I know how big of a role an eagle was playing in my life at that time. A week before, or maybe a couple weeks before, I don't remember the exact timeline, my mom and I had went to get tattoos together. And I was at work, and it was probably about an hour before my shift was coming up, and we were going directly to the tattoo place right from there. And I was like, oh shit, like, I don't even know what tattoo I'm gonna get. Like, I don't have a tattoo that is like screaming like, get me, but I wanted to go to get a tattoo with my mom because I love tattoos, and it was just special for my mom and I. So I literally sat down at the computer and started Googling tattoos. And this is the tattoo I got, this feather. And everybody's like, well, what does this feather mean to you? And I was like, I don't know. Like, does it have to have a meaning? Like, does all of my tattoos have to have this story? And I felt kind of stupid being like, it doesn't really have a meaning. But little did I know it was going to have a meaning to me. And after I met that eagle spirit guide, I literally looked down at my wrist and was like, oh my God, now it has meaning. Like, this was my first animal spirit guide, and the feather symbolizes the eagle. And now to me, it's like my reminder that that was one of my first really in-depth spiritual experiences. And I absolutely loved it. And I love this tattoo, and it's just my special reminder. And that was just a really fun experience. And ever since that moment, I had thought to myself, I want to teach other people how to have spiritual experiences through meditation. I want to guide other people how to connect to their spirit guides, to their animal spirits, to different experiences that, like, I could take other people on that journey so that they could have those experiences, because they are so powerful and so incredible. And so ever since then, that was probably about 9 years ago. And ever since then, I have created many guided meditations, many different courses, many different classes on those certain things, on connecting with spirit guides, knowing your animal spirit guide, going through guided meditation to connect to your higher self and to really feel that amazing, powerful connection. Let me get a drink here. Hi, Renee, welcome. So today, again, I'm here to share a little bit about my experience, but what has happened because of knowing and trusting the connection that I have with these animals and spirit guides. And so I do have a course that I am dropping in, I'll drop in the links here in a moment, but I do have a course that is flash sale today only for the next 24 hours, which is all about connecting to your spirit guides. And I have included a guided meditation to connect to your spirit guides, and I am throwing in a bonus meditation to connect to your higher self. And then there's an entire course outline that you can do self-study that will take you through learning about spirit guides. What are the differences between angels, archangels, ascended masters, loved ones, spirit animals, Arcturians, and light beings? So that is on sale. I will drop that here in a moment, and you can dive right into that. So it's $44 for the next 24 hours, normally $99. So I'm going to drop that in the link right now so that you guys have it. And if this is something that you are interested in, you can just sign up today, and it will be available for you for 24 hours. So anyways, that's in the links now, or in the comment section. So I have another really fun story that I want to share. But before I do that, again, I want to hear what your guys' experience is. So what animal has really stuck out to you? Or is there an animal that you want to know more about? And I have two of my, these are like my Bibles. These are my go-to books when it comes to animal spirit guides. And the reason why, so going back here for a moment, when I started teaching meditation, when I started teaching other people about spirit guides, the common question or the common fear is, well, what if I don't meet my spirit guide? What if I don't see anything? And hello, like I just told you, that was my biggest hesitancy as well, is what if nothing spectacular happens? What if I don't have this aha in my face moment where it's really hard to decipher? And Renee says hawk and squirrel. That's really cool. So what if you don't? That's okay. And I remember, like I said, sitting in that circle, and I was starting to compare my experience to everyone else's in that room, thinking, oh my gosh, my experience is not like theirs. Oh my gosh, what if I don't have a similar experience? What if nothing shows up for me? Well, when you're going into that mindset of the what ifs or the fears, I can guarantee you're robbing yourself of something really fucking magical, because we have these connections. We are these beautiful, magnificent beings, and we are all divinely connected. So when you go into a meditation or a situation where you're fearing it or doubting it, you're holding yourself back from that experience. So I do teach people in my programs how to release the fear, how to unblock yourself from the fear, from the worry, from the doubt, from the panic. And you can go back, I've talked about this in previous lives, where fear can really snatch up a lot of the joy, and we really can't have them both together. So we have to work through the fears and the limitations and the doubts in order for us to really experience the joy and the peace and the love that will come in the more that you practice with this. So in my Spirit Guides class, you will, again, start to learn about some of the differences and how you can open yourself up to connect, and different ways to raise your vibration so that connection is stronger. And then there's 2 guided meditations in there as well. So $44 for the next 24 hours, normally $99. The link is there if you want to purchase, and I will directly email you the class after purchase. All right, so Renee says hawk and squirrel. So back to I'm getting a lot coming in at once, and I'm trying to stay focused here. So this is my animal spirit guide Bible. It is with me always. I have animals that come in during my energy healing sessions when I'm working with my clients. Typically, if I'm using my drum, which is a very sacred tool of mine that I use to help me connect to the beat of the earth, or to the heartbeat of the earth. And the drum to me is a very oh my gosh, can't speak all of a sudden. When I use my drum, it really connects me to I feel like I have native heritage or past lineage or whatever. So it's an automatic, I connect to the elements, to earth, and to animals. So there is never a time, I have never had a time where my drum has been in my hand and I have not had an animal spirit guide come to me, whether I'm using it for myself or for my clients. So this is my handy dandy book that I am always referring to. So it's Animal Spirit Guides by Stephen D. Farmer, and this is the same author of the deck of cards that I'll be using here in a moment. And then he also has this handy dandy little pocket guide of spirit animals, which I got in Sedona last year when I was there. And this is nice to just carry instead of this huge lug. So these are really great books. I talk about them in my spirit guide class as well, so that you have them there. And this morning I was doing my power hour, my meditation, and I was asking spirit, I was asking guide, like, what is a message that I can portray to my audience about the powerful messages behind spirit animals? And like I mentioned, 8-9 years ago when I started this journey, the eagle came in really, really strong. And to me, the eagle is about gaining new perspectives. You know, eagles soar above everything and can see for miles and miles, and really it's all about perspective. Eagles also are a message to me about, like, opening yourself up to that spiritual world. Everybody will have their own meaning, and what that entails for them is completely up to everybody. It's very individualized for you and what you're going through in your life. But I had another really cool eagle experience. Let me back up for a second. I wanted to say this as well, is when it comes to spirit animals, the really cool thing to notice is what are your thoughts during the time that you see the spirit animal? And it was kind of funny because Spirit told me today, like, well, everybody could think a robin is their spirit animal because they're seeing robins, right? And that could be true. A robin may hold a really good message for you, but the way that spirit animals show themselves to me is through my thoughts, through my emotions, and through my energy. So it's not something that I'm going to see every single day like a robin on my deck, right? It may be, but most likely is not. It really has to do about the energy that you're in, your thoughts, your emotions, your mental state, your spiritual state, and how that animal reveals themselves to you. So it can be during meditation. It can be if you're driving down the road and you're all of a sudden thinking about your grandma and a fox runs out. Or it could be if you're having an emotionally stressed day and all of a sudden an animal that you don't typically see shows up to you. So that's my truth with it. Everybody's a little bit different, but to me, that's what really allows me to connect deeper into that meaning of that animal. So every time I see an animal, I'm not picking up my book and asking, oh my God, what does this mean? What does this mean? What does this mean? It's more or less in those moments of meditation, in those moments of where my thoughts or my emotions need a little bit of nudge, need a little bit of guidance, just as if you are asking, like praying, and you feel the wind pick up, and all of a sudden you feel like that wrap of the wind around your body, or whatever that may be. So I'm not always running to my book, my Animal Spirit Guide Bible, to look up every single animal that crossed my path. For instance, in one of my meditations, I had a black cougar come in, and I felt the most, like, it makes me emotional just talking about it, but I felt this intense, nurturing, loving feeling from this black cougar. I was sitting and leaning up against a tree in this meditation, and the black cougar came and laid its head in my lap, and I had never felt so much peace and calm wash over me than in that moment. And obviously, you're not probably going to see a black cougar walking along the side of the road. You're probably not going to see a black cougar in your backyard. So this, to me, was like, oh, okay, this animal, this spirit guide, this animal spirit guide has a message for me today. And what does that mean? And if you're in that meditation, ask that animal, like, what message do you have for me today? Why are you here? You know, what's going on? And I'll ask that too with animals that come in through my energy healing and all of that. So hold on one second. I'm just going to go back. Jen says, I know I've had animals come to me during meditation, but of course I don't remember. So I'll see what comes out of the spirit guide meditations. Yes, absolutely. So the really cool thing too is to grab a notebook and pen. And I say this, like, if you want to purchase the class, I give you little directions of how to connect with them and what to do during the meditations. to just grab a piece of paper and a pen and see what's coming in, and ask them questions. Just like you would ask your spirit guide or a loved one, you can have a conversation with these animals and ask them what they need, what messages. Renee says, I constantly notice hawks while traveling down the road, all the time flying and perched. Squirrels will come to my patio door and window and look at me. Yes, so ask them right then and there, like, what is the message I need to know right now? You can ask, like, what is the obvious message? Like, what are you needing my attention for, like, right now in this moment? Or you can take note of it and go into a meditation and ask. But really getting yourself into that energy of, like, okay, what is this message? So I have a few more stories and then I'll start pulling cards. So thank you for listening to all of my stories. I'm like, oh, I have so many fun stories. And I could be here all day. So the back to the eagle. So a few years ago, my friend's boyfriend had passed away, and it was very unexpected. And it was probably the day after I had found out, maybe the day after he passed, that I was driving home from work, and I really felt his presence strongly with me. And I don't think I ever had met him in person, but I knew a lot about him through my friend. And I really felt his energy strongly around me. And I kept kind of like, okay, you can be here, but I don't know if I'm ready to have that conversation with you yet. Or I don't know if it's appropriate for me to relay these messages to your girlfriend. Like, it may be too soon. And so he kept kind of like hanging around me. And I had left work that day, and he popped into my mind, and I remember like turning on the radio, and the same song over like the course of a couple days, like after he had died, the same song kept playing over and over. And I wish I could tell you the song, but I can't remember right now. And I was like, okay, I know you're here with me, but I don't know that I'm ready for this. And selfishly, like, I don't know if I can put myself out there to like relay those messages. And all of a sudden I'm driving down the highway, and a bald eagle is flying over my car. And it felt like it was there for quite some time. Usually they just cross your path, but this one felt like it was going with my car for quite some time. And I thought, okay, I see you. I know you're here with me. And I'm getting like full body chills. So it's like, he's hearing this. But I got full body chills, and I said, okay, you're here with me. Tell me what you need to tell me. What messages do I need to give to your girlfriend? Like, you know, what is it? And I remember like getting home, and I just like wrote down as much as I could possibly think of. And I said, thank you. And I appreciate you being here. And when the time feels right, I will deliver your messages. But I knew, like, I feel like I would have kept ignoring it until the bald eagle came in and was like, pay attention, just pay attention. And so anyways, a couple days had passed, and I had went to his funeral. And I had never met him, never met his family, nothing. And his dad got up at the funeral, towards the end of the funeral, and shared a story. And he goes, you know, I just am overwhelmed by the amount of love and support for my son. And I really just feel like how proud he is, and just, I'm proud of him and all this stuff. And he shared the story that he was standing outside the night before the funeral, so the previous night, having a cigarette, and all he could hear was eagles going back and forth, having a conversation. And he's like, I don't know if it was like 2 eagles or 3 eagles or what. He's like, but they were so loud. Like, they felt like they were on my porch with me. And I just sat there and I was like, oh my God. So the eagle showed up for me as a symbol of like, come on, pay attention. We have a message here. And he needed to get his message across. And then it crossed over to his dad getting messages from eagles as well. And I was blown away, because I was like, okay, you can't make this shit up. Like, this is it. This is true stuff. Like, I am not lying here. This is just incredible. So really paying attention. And this brings me into my next point when it comes to animal messages and spirit guides, is a lot of the times, and again, this is my belief, a lot of the times people think that their loved ones is that animal and has reincarnated into that animal, which that can be true. Like, our loved ones can reincarnate into animals. But I feel like when the animals appear to us after our loved one dies, it is the energy of your loved one, the spirit or the soul of your loved one, bringing that animal forward so that it gathers or gets our attention. So a lot of people see cardinals. A lot of people see different types of birds after a loved one has died, eagles, whatever it may be. And it's just a great reminder that our loved ones are with us, and they have that ability, that power to give us the message that we need through that animal. So they can bring forth that animal that we need to see, to have that reassurance or that nurturing feeling that they are still with us. I don't necessarily believe that all of our loved ones turned into birds or butterflies or whatever it may be, but they do have that power to say, okay, they need that comfort right now. I'm going to send them a cardinal. I'm going to send them a butterfly, whatever it may be. For instance, my grandma, the day of her funeral, there was a blue jay feather on my step. I was sitting on my front step, and I was like, oh, that's amazing. Like, both my grandparents loved birds, loved blue jays, loved cardinals, loved every type of bird. And I just remember like grabbing the feather, and I'm like, I've never seen a feather so magnificent. Like the blue and the gray, it was just beautiful. And for quite some time, every time I thought of my grandma, a blue jay would appear at my feeder. Still to this day, it happens. So it's really, really cool. So if you are wanting to know more about who your spirit guide is, who your spirit animal is, what different messages that these animals have for you, definitely pop into my course. It right now, flash sale, $44 for the next 24 hours. Otherwise, it's typically $99. That includes a course outline with all of the material and 2 meditations. So I have one more funny story, really cool story, but I'm going to save it till the end. So if you want to know today, I'll give you 2 choices. If you would like a card to see today what spirit animal is coming in for you, say, I would love a card, please. If you are continually seeing an animal and you want to know what the heck it means, I will read you the information from this book. And so this pretty much has every animal. And so if you're like, I really see a lot of squirrels, I want to know what a squirrel means today, then say, tell me the message. So otherwise I'll pull a card for you and we'll see what animal is coming in and what message it has, or I can read the definition from an animal that you're seeing. So let me know in the comments below. And all right, I guess I'm going to tell you this really quick story. So Jen wants a card, Renee wants a card. Perfect. So last night I had a client, and right before I jumped onto our Zoom call, my cards were sitting out, and I was like, all right, I'm going to shuffle my deck, and I'm going to see if a card wants to come in for my client and give her a little bit of insight on our call. And I was shuffling. Nothing was coming up. Like, there was no cards popping out. They were all kind of just sticking together, and they're brand new, so that's going to happen. But nothing was happening. And I was like, all right, I guess she doesn't need a card today. Well, on her call last night, she was telling me about her meditation. I don't know if it was yesterday morning or sometime in this week, and she saw the face of a tiger, but it came in really quick and left really quick. And I was like, okay, so let me grab my Stephen Farmer book and read you the tiger message, and let's see what it has to say. And she's like, okay, yeah, like, cool, whatever. Some of that may reside, some of it may not, whatever. And I was like, okay, well, take it or leave it, Right after I hung up with her on the call, I picked up my deck again, and I was like, well, let's just see what comes in. I just want to play. I am not shitting you guys. Like, I don't make this shit up. I started shuffling, and instantly a card flew out of the deck, landed on my desk, and it was the tiger. And I was like, oh my God, it was so cool. I'm like, she told me about the tiger. It was so much fun. So I just thought, okay, that is just amazing. I love when that happens. I love when spirit plays with me. I love when I get these messages. And yeah, it is so much fun. So anyways, let's have some fun here. So Jen wants a card. Before I start the card readings, I'm just kind of being reminded to just take a deep breath, close your eyes for a moment, connect into your heart, take a few deep breaths, and just state an intention or an affirmation for this reading today. Whether it be, thank you for revealing to me what's for my highest and greatest good. Thank you for revealing my highest and greatest spirit animal guide. Thank you for any insight, wisdom, knowledge that comes in. And just be open to receive. Sometimes animals will surprise us, and it's freaking fun. So anyways, let's get to Jen. so this is for Jen today. What messages, not those, do you have for Jen? Like I said, these are new cards. I'm just kind of getting to know them myself. I'll take a moment. Oh, there it is. All right. So Jen, it landed on my lap. So this says cheetah. Get clear on your intention, stay focused, and move quickly to achieve your goal. So if you think about a cheetah acts fast. A cheetah is a very fast animal. So the energy that I'm feeling right now, Jen, is you may be contemplating a decision or a different thing that you need to accomplish. And what Spirit is telling you is it's time to act. It is time to act fast, leap on it. Create the intention that you want around this specific choice or change or whatever it may be, and it's time to just act. So I'm going to read the longer message here, and we'll see what else comes in. And let's see. Cheetah. I'm getting there. It's taking a moment. All right, so get clear on your intentions, stay focused, and move quickly to achieve your goal. So stop deluding yourself by thinking that there isn't enough time. There are too many other things to do, or you're not up to the mission that's calling you to action. These and many other beliefs are delay tactics that keep you from accomplishing what you're here to do. It's much too easy to play it safe by staying caught up in the mundane dramas of life rather than honoring Spirit's purpose for you by making a run for it. The first step is to write out your intention as clearly as possible. Keep it nearby and create an appropriate affirmation that you can repeat several times over the course of the day. One that states your intention as if it has already occurred. So create your intention as if the thing has already occurred. Then write out a sequence of action steps that will help you move toward your ultimate goal. Don't be shy or hesitant to think big, bigger than you've previously allowed yourself. Once you've set the wheels in motion by doing these steps, it's time to move. Not in some frantic, hurried way, but steady and purposeful, designing much of your activity to support what you need to do. In all this movement, once you've successfully achieved a significant piece, take a breather and look back on how far you've come. Give yourself a pat on the back with each step that's accomplished as a way of acknowledging your progress. Go for it. So associations with a cheetah says, sorry, 1 second, guys. Okay, it says speed, focus, insight, passion, swiftness, elusiveness, flexibility, efficiency, self-esteem, powerful, graceful, purposeful, energetic, sensuous, accomplishment, and directedness. So really, in order for you to take action, like at the speed of a cheetah, well, first of all, like it said, it doesn't matter the speed that you're going to. It's all about intention, creating the intention that is going to support the outcome that you want. Okay? And thank you so much. All right, let's go to the next one. Thank you, Jen. Renee. Oh. And just remember, guys, these are like really just quick, short, intuitive messages. So if you're needing more, you can schedule an intuitive psychic reading, which I will drop that in the links as well here in a moment. But this is for Renee. So Renee, think about what it is that you, there we go. All right, that one came out quick. Penguin. My grandma used to say penguin. So it's hard for me to not say penguin. But a penguin. The period of darkness that you've been experiencing is now passing. Let's see what else it says here. So sometimes when we hear the word darkness, like I'm hearing or I'm feeling some like resistance, like, oh shit, darkness. I don't know about that. I want to remind you all, this is for everybody, that darkness isn't always such a bad thing. Like we go through seasons and periods of our life where we have different things that appear to us that may have that energy of feeling dark, or we keep things hidden within ourselves, the shadow side of ourselves, which may be the dark. So you have to just remind yourself, like every season has darkness and light. Every situation that we go through and experience has darkness and light. It is duality. We live in a duality type of world. So just remember that there's a little bit of both. So I just wanted to remind you that this is not a bad thing. Don't hear darkness and start screaming and thinking, oh my God, I got to run away from this. So it says, you've endured hardships in your life, sometimes gracefully, sometimes awkwardly. Yet they've taught you life lessons that have been invaluable in forming the person you are today. These experiences have influenced the kind of personality and character you possess. However, the path you've taken has ultimately been influenced by the choices you've made in response to those experiences. This is especially true with your most recent cycle, one that has presented many challenges that you've dealt with successfully. That period of travail is passing, and whether or not you're aware of it, it has contributed significantly to your spiritual growth. Pause for a second. I'm hearing that it's so important for everybody, and I think this also came into with the cheetah, but now as well as the penguin, so there's some commonality that I'm hearing today, that it's really important for all of us to remember where we once were and where we are now, and to celebrate that. To celebrate the challenges that we've gone through, the things that we're learning in our life, because it's really super important and empowering as we continue to move forward in our life. So anyways, Renee, back to you. Emerging from this period, you'll still be faced with a few challenges, but you'll readily face them with the courage and inner strength you've mustered during this period of struggle. You've discovered resources that you never knew you had, and these will serve you well for the rest of your life. Your faith in life's unfoldment and your greater awareness of your soul's destiny will help you deal with anything that comes your way with self-confidence, grace, and fluidity. Making conscious and deliberate choices now becomes top priority, as these have the potential to dramatically alter your life. So gaining that level of consciousness from your past experiences is what is impacting your spiritual growth in a very powerful way. So again, reflect on some of the darkness and what you have learned to help you get to where you're going and where you currently are. So not looking too far in the forward, but really to say, what has helped me gain the awareness that I need in my life right now? How have I gotten to this point, and how will I continue to evolve with this awareness? Associations with the penguin: determination, focus, endurance, self-confidence, respect, gracefulness, agility, fluidity, adequate, clarity, awareness, willingness, sturdiness, intention. And thank you, Renee. All right. And Jen said, thank you, totally fits for me. I've been avoiding moving forward with something important. Oh, good. Hopefully that gives you some clarity to help you on your journey. All right, and Lorena. And if you're just joining, I'll be here for a few more moments. I'm going to stay on till 11 if I have to. So if you want a card, let me know. I'd love to pull a card for you today. We are using the messages from your animal spirit guide. All right, so this is for Lorena. All right. I'm going to go with that one because it didn't want to go back in. This says weasel. This is weasel. So be silent, pay attention, and simply observe with your eyes, ears, and physical feelings what is happening inside and all around you. So this is for Lorena. And it also says take a deep breath and release it slowly, then take another and another. And I want to back up for a moment because when I was shuffling the card, I kept getting this image of embracing the new you. Embracing the new you. Whatever that means for you. Continue to breathe steadily and slowly from your belly to your chest. Breathing this way will keep you attuned to what you feel in your body. Notice the sensations without judging or trying to change them. Be aware of how your body responds to what you see, hear, and feel around you. Don't judge any of your experiences as right or wrong. If you find that you're doing so, take another deep breath, release the judgments as you exhale, and return to simply observing your experience inside and out. When you practice this way of observing, you're operating from pure awareness, or the witness of self, the self that radiates through and fills your being. It's the self that feels a deep connection with the world as a participant. while at the same time is centered in the observer. Operating this way for a few minutes each day becomes a meditation and will stimulate the realization of the unity of all life, with you serving as a direct conduit and expression of spirit. When you're connected to spirit, the natural world speaks to you, and you become sensitive to the energies of the earth. Awareness without meditation or judgment, centered in your heart and your soul, allows you to know your authentic self without attaching concepts about who you are. Pure you. I love that. So I don't even remember what I had just said right before that. Something about becoming aware of the new you. And really, this message is about releasing the attachment of judgment, releasing the attachment, again, kind of like I said with the other two cards, is like noticing where you once were and where you are now, and how much has shifted in your life, and notice the new you that is coming forward, that is emerging. So the weasel is all about coming back within yourself, coming back into the stillness, into your breath, and connecting into your soul, and seeing yourself as the new you. And thank you, Lorena. And Renee says, so understand that I had stuff in my past and learned so much. Thank you for that awareness. Will use the knowledge I learned for any future stuff. Yeah, and that makes a really good point, Renee, and for everybody is we don't have to beat ourselves up from our past experiences. We don't have to be like feeling so bad that we made a choice or did something in our past. It doesn't define who we are today. Those experiences are what has helped us get to this point in our life. And if we choose to continue to belittle ourselves or berate ourselves because of what we once did, it's going to hold us back into becoming who we are meant to be right now. So we have to acknowledge everything that we've experienced and what has come forward. And these animal guides, just like spirit guides, just like angels, just like loved ones, these messages that are coming forward today are here to remind you of that. Okay, so all of these messages are pretty similar in the whole concept and idea of we have to look within ourselves. So take consideration of what these animals are saying to you today, what your spirit guides are saying to you, how you can lean into these messages. So for instance, if you are distracted because of the judgment of other people, like the weasel, you know, if we're judging other people's experiences and we're not connecting into ourselves, then call upon the weasel and say, how can I take the message that the weasel had for me today and incorporate it into my life? Because it's not always, the messages aren't always what we need because of the past. It may be what we are needing to focus on currently and for the future. So like Renee is saying, it's like, yeah, we understand that we had stuff in the past that we can learn from, but how can we move forward with the information that was provided for me today? With the information of the penguin that is saying, look at the past, learn from the past, and take those moments forward. So sit with yourself today with every single message that's coming forward, and whether you had a message specifically for you, or if you're just watching and trying to gain a little bit of insight, there's messages for all of us within all of the cards. It doesn't matter if you say, I want a card or not, there is a message for you today. And there's a reason why you're being pulled in to listen to this. We all need the reminders that we are not alone in this spiritual journey. We are not alone in trying to figure out and navigate this path. That yes, we've had challenges. And yes, we want to continue to grow and to evolve and use our spiritual gifts to get us to that point. And if that is something entirely new to you, that's really freaking exciting. That is like my jam. I love helping people start to unravel their spiritual gifts and unravel that spiritual connection, whether, again, it be through spirit guides, angels, loved ones, animals, whatever it may be. So I love that. It's wonderful. And if there's anybody else that's joining on that hasn't gotten a card yet, just comment below. I'm drinking water today because I've had too much coffee already. I know it's called coffee with spirit, but today it's water with spirit. All right, so anyways, another announcement that I have for you guys today is that I am offering a 30-minute psychic intuitive reading. And I'm going to drop that in the comments here. Give me 1 second. I don't have an assistant to help me with this, so it takes me a minute. But if you are interested in receiving additional intuitive messages, if you want to connect into your personal spirit guides, your angels, your loved ones, a psychic intuitive reading would be exactly what to schedule with me. It's a 30-minute appointment. And what I do with my psychic intuitive readings is I'm connecting into your energy and you're connecting into your higher self. And I'm delivering the messages from your higher self, your spirit guides, your animals, your loved ones, and giving you that insight, that wisdom, knowledge to help you with any questions that you may have right now. If you are trying to make a life decision and you're like, I don't know what direction to go in, an intuitive reading would be really helpful. If you're just needing additional support or you want additional information because you're like, this is fucking cool and I want more information, then this appointment is for you as well. So that link is down below as well. And I have to say, like, this is one of my most favorite things to do because I'm usually blown away when I do readings for other people because I don't know everything about everyone. So many people in the past have said to me, like, are you like Teresa Caputo who can just like walk into a store and give people readings? And I'm like, no. I mean, I probably could. Do I choose to do that? Absolutely not. I do it in my own way. I'm not Teresa Caputo. I connect to my higher self, my higher power, spirit, God, source, energy every single day. And that is my way to deepen my connection. And when my connection is clear, then messages and insight will come through. And so I have to really be cognizant of my energy and the way that I'm delivering messages to other people. Can I pick up on stuff? Absolutely. And I love doing it. And I'm not always right. You know, sometimes I get things wrong. But I read into the energy with people and with their affirmation and confirmation, the different things that are coming in. So I love, love, love doing that. Thank you for the reading. It's pretty spot on in what I'm going through right now. You're welcome, Lorena. So yes, so I love readings. I love connecting with spirit. I love connecting with loved ones. I've taken many, many different courses on psychic abilities. I've taken a certification program in a psychic intuitive course. I have taken spirit animal classes. I have taken mediumship courses. I have done a whole slew of different things. So anyways, today, if you guys are needing a little bit additional support, the link for that session is in the comments. That's the price. It's not a flash sale today. The flash sale is the Spirit Guide course, which is a course I outline with all of the material, and then a guided meditation, connect to your spirit guides, and then a bonus that I decided to throw in last minute, a bonus meditation to connect to your higher self. And I do want to add too, like, sometimes people can be really freaked out about this stuff. People have different beliefs because of religion and society telling us we're crazy and that it's not right and all of that. If you have fears around that, let's talk. Let's, again, release some of those fears, release some of those blocks so that your connection is more powerful when you go in to do it. Because that will hold you back to some extent. And like I said in the beginning, I had my own resistance. I had my own doubts around connecting into my spirit guides, connecting it with my spirit animals. But I will tell you that the moment some of those fears started, the fears and the hesitancies started to release, oh, my world changed. My world changed because I could connect into such powerful messages and connect into that, not only for myself, but for all of you, for all of my clients. And I have done hundreds and hundreds of readings for people, and it is mind-blowing every single time because it's unique to you and to you only. And I don't know what's going to come in until I'm connected with my clients and their energy. And then it's just fucking mind-blowing after that. It's just like, bam! And I love doing it. Does anybody have any more questions about the class? Any more questions about spirit guides? Any more questions about spirit animals? Anything else that's coming in? I have a few more moments before I wrap this up. If you have questions, I'd love to hear. I'd love to answer them for you. And no question is silly, because I'm sure if you're thinking something or if you have a question, somebody else has a similar question. And we'll probably say, thank you for asking that question, because I wanted to know myself. I'll just give it one more minute. If you have any questions, pop them in the comments below. And I'm going to do, usually I start with a collective message, but right now I'm going to throw in a collective message for everybody. And I'm guessing this is the card because it flew out of the deck. And I don't even know how to say this animal's name. Puo? I'm going to say Puo. It's a Hawaiian owl. Puo. Your ancestral spirit guides are offering you guidance now, so pay close attention to signs and omens from them. Holy shit, like, did I not just get done saying this? Like, even our ancestors are around us. Even our spirit guides can show up as our ancestors, as our loved ones in heaven. But the Puo is a Hawaiian owl, and it says your ancestral spirit guides are offering you guidance now, so pay close attention to signs and omens from them. So let me read the extended version, and then I'll answer Renee's, or I'll read Renee's question here in a second. Oh, it's called Pu'aio. Pu'aio, whatever. Okay, you can receive guidance from your ancestors in the spirit world, no matter what their age, when they died, or how many generations ago they walked on earth. So somebody was wondering this question. Because this is why this is coming up right now. And this is for the collective, so everybody needs this message right now. So they're offering you help in many ways right now, so pay close attention to the signs they give you. This guidance can come to you in many forms, whether through your eyes, ears, feelings, or thoughts. Sometimes your ancestral spirit guides appear in dreams, particularly vivid ones. You might see someone who looks like one of your ancestors, or unexpectedly come across photos or memorabilia that remind you of this person. Often, a particular animal making an appearance before you is a way in which your ancestral guide is trying to reach you. You might hear something that makes you think of a specific ancestor, or simply feel their presence. And thoughts about a certain ancestor, especially unexpected and recurring thoughts, suggest that they're nearby. Repetition is key here. In whatever ways your ancestors attempt to contact you, when signs continue to show up that make you think of your deceased loved ones, know that these physical manifestations demonstrate that they're with you. You may have known some of these ancestors in the physical world prior to their deaths, or they may be ancestors from long ago, several generations before your birth, surpassing the boundaries of conscious memory. Regardless of who they are, always give thanks to your ancestral spirit guides, and even appeal to these benevolent helpers whenever guidance is needed. The associations with this Hawaiian owl is dignity, omens, guidance, protection, wisdom, knowledge, inspiration, mysteriousness, silence, sacredness, diversity, aumakua, ancestral showing up as a spirit animal. Oh my God. I love this. So pay attention to the different animals that are coming in. Pay attention to the messages that you're receiving. If you're thinking of a particular loved one or ancestor, just know that they're with you, and ask them what messages they may have for you. So Renee says, I know spirit animals change, but can you have more than one at a time? Yeah, absolutely. That's my belief. I believe that we can have multiple spirit guides. What I have learned with spirit guides is that they come in, there's different, almost like a hierarchy of guides or of angels. Some people believe that, some people don't. The way that I was taught was that when spirit guides come to us, they come in with our soul into this incarnation. So we may have spirit guides for our entire incarnation here in this lifetime, this physical form. I also believe that our spirit guides can change while we are here. We may have spirit guides that just pop in for a brief moment of our experience because of a certain situation that we are going through. So let's say somebody's going through a divorce. They may have a spirit guide that's just coming in to help them go through a divorce, or maybe the birth of their child, or maybe they experienced the death of a child, and the spirit guide helps them in that form, or in that during that situation. So I do think that spirit guides can change throughout our existence, and I do feel that we would have many of them at a time, or can have many of them at a time, maybe like 2 or 3, maybe 12. I have no idea. Really, the only way to find out is to ask through meditation, through, so going through one of the guided meditations that I include in the class, it will help you walk through meeting your spirit guides. And every time you do that, you may have a different spirit guide or a different animal that appears. Okay, so like I said in the beginning, a few years ago, I had an eagle. During one meditation, I had a black panther. I have seen a month ago, I feel like during one of my morning meditations, I had a frog that came in. During one of my meditations, I had this being that was part human, not really human, part human, animal, horse, a conglomerate of different energies within itself. And I had only seen him that one time. So just be aware of what's coming in, ask, and just keep practicing. Just keep connecting, and that's how you're going to get to know them better and have that experience with them. So it's really super fun. So yes, there can be multiple. Yes, they will probably change throughout your life depending on the experience you're going through. And the best way to do it, or the best way to find out, is by meditating and asking the questions, or get a reading. Get a reading from me and I will help you with them. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me today. I had so much fun with this topic. Again, check in the comments for the class. It's for 24 hours, so till tomorrow at noon, you will have an opportunity to grab the Spirit Guide class at the flash sale price of $44. Normally it's $99. So jump on that. And then if you have questions and you want your own private reading, in the comments is the link for scheduling that reading as well. And thank you all so much for joining me today for Coffee with Spirit, and I will see you next Thursday. Have a great day.